Good morning, good afternoon, good night, my dears. Welcome to the Worldwide Podcast, Turkmenistan edition. This is going to be very interesting, guys, because that's a country that I don't know a lot about the country. And I'm not sure about Guilherme. How are you doing, bro? Where have you been? How's it
Hey
going?
guys, I am still in Norway, but actually something really cool did happen. I released just a few days ago my first short film, like very short films, like 3, 4 minutes, from one of my classes here in my film degree. So that was really cool because I had really nice feedback, and I think it was a really good short film. Not perfect, but a good start.
Bro, you
So
should
yeah, that
definitely
was
put on the description of this episode, this film, for, spreading
for
to
anyone
people.
interested. Yes, I
That's it.
I wrote, directed, and edited, and also acted. So that was
Congrats,
tough.
man. Congrats.
And I have so much respect for directors who also act in their films. Very few do it, but oh my God, it's such a task. It's such a task. But oh well, that was fun. Now, Turkmenistan. I am so damn excited because we have recorded 2 episodes on Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, which
Yep.
are, I would say, quite similar to each other. But then you have in Central Asia these other countries who are so damn different from each other, especially from Kyrgyzstan. And Turkmenistan is one of them. And we're going to know why. So, getting to our podcast, we have our guest, Medine. How are you
Medine.
doing?
Welcome to the
Hi,
podcast, Medine.
guys. Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Medina, and I'm from Turkmenistan. I was born and raised in Turkmenistan, so I'm ready to answer your questions about Turkmenistan.
For sure. And you're
Amazing.
the first person I ever met, even online, but in person, of course, never, from Turkmenistan. So,
Oh,
yeah. So excited, so excited. Literally the
honor,
first person. Yeah,
such an yeah.
for sure, for sure. And you're also not from the capital, which is even more interesting.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
gonna give another little layout on the podcast. So yeah, so starting on, I have to ask. So the people who know about your country, they know that it's from videos, of course. It's the
Yeah.
strangest country in the whole world because
Mm-hmm.
everything is empty. It's the most liminal place on earth. You have these lavish monuments, lavish building, white marbles, and
They're
then
all
once
empty.
people do the tourism, there's no one there.
hmm
There's no one there. And
Yes, I
now,
guess this
go
is
why?
the strangest country for tourists because we don't have many tourists actually coming in our country. But I guess it feels empty for them because our population is not that big.
Yeah.
We like have around 5 million people, not more than 5 million
Right.
people. So the capital, I guess, is the biggest city in our country, Ashgabat. And yeah, there are many buildings. It might seem empty, but it's actually not. Maybe it's just the time that they go there,
Yeah.
like everyone is at work or in the
Yeah,
school or
yeah,
at the
yeah.
Sure.
university. I don't know. But
Yeah, I
for
think it's
us,
also, yeah, I
it
was
does.
gonna say there's the lack of tourism. It's also because the visa is quite hard to get. I think it's even
Mm-hmm.
one of the ten most hardest visas
Yeah, it's
to.
one of the hardest in the world to get.
Yeah,
It's
so
one of the hardest countries to get in, but I guess it's the one of the safest countries to live in. I
hmm,
swear, this
Sure.
is the safest place. Like we live with our doors open. We don't lock our doors at home.
yeah, yeah.
This
No,
is
I
the
can 100% imagine that. But yeah, and also you told me because of
Mhm.
international flights, I was also so curious, like, okay, a very hard visa to get, probably like it doesn't fly too many places. And then you told me about Malaysia, and that is
Yeah.
very interesting. Like, why Malaysia out of all the countries? And then you
Because
told, yeah,
we have very strong like relationships between Malaysia and Turkmenistan because Petronas, I don't know if you know, the one of the biggest companies, oil companies in Malaysia, Petronas, they have
okay,
they work with Turkmenistan, so we have the
Mhm.
branches in our country.
All right. Makes sense right
okay,
now. Makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
And do you need a visa to go to Malaysia?
We have 90 days visa free.
All right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
after 90 days we need visa.
Visa
But
runs.
for living right now,
My life.
you do have a visa, right? For
Yeah,
studying it.
because I'm
Okay.
I'm a
All
student
right.
here. Yeah, I need
Okay. Pretty good.
a visa.
I didn't know about these connections. That's very interesting. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
because of the language, like the barrier of language, like the languages are different, right? Like, or you guys do speak the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
In
totally
Malaysia,
different,
you
right?
mean Malaysia and
And
Turkmenistan?
Turkmenistan, yeah, totally different, right?
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
The only language that connects us is English.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just going on the visa, because I said visa runs, but then I didn't remember that okay, the other countries you do need a visa to get in, so you cannot do visa runs
Hmm.
like I used to do. So
Yeah.
when the 90 days end, what do you do?
I guess they like in any other country, we go to the embassy of Malaysia in our country in Ashgabat and apply
Okay.
for the visa. Yeah,
So
that's
you
what
have
I did for
okay.
my
Yeah.
student visa
Okay,
as a
yeah, yeah. So
student.
that's easier, yeah. With the
Yeah.
student visa. So you have an embassy there in Malaysia
Hmm.
for Turkey.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. That's
We
much
have
easier.
embassy in of Turkmenistan in Malaysia and embassy of Malaysia in Turkmenistan.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's nice. That's nice. But then I also feel bad because for me it's so damn easy.
Yeah, for you
90 days
guys.
go off.
But
I
just
go to
for
another
90
you.
country,
times is
come
Just for
back.
you, bro.
of course.
Just for you.
You
Damn.
can just like,
I do face the same, Medina. I mean, like few countries
yes.
I do go for, without a visa. So we
But I guess you
Brazilians
can
we
go
do.
to Southern American countries
Yeah, the
without
South
visa.
American countries is easier. I mean, without a visa. Like we do not need a visa. And
But for
also some
us, we need
countries,
visa for our Central Asian neighbors. We need visa.
oh, that's a pretty. Is there any other country but Malaysia that you do not request a
Mm,
visa to go in?
Georgia,
All right.
I think it's 30 days. I know Georgia. Then Maldives is open for everyone. I'm not sure, but I think also Indonesia
All right.
and some other African and Caribbean countries like
Okay.
Yeah.
Caribbean
yeah,
countries.
yeah. So I'm not sure, but I have checked before.
All right.
In Africa, it's like Gambia, which what else? South South
South Africa,
Sudan, or
maybe. Yeah.
yeah, maybe something like this, but
All
I'm not sure.
right.
In Caribbean countries, there are some also countries,
Uh,
but they are so far away from us that
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the thing. I mean, I have some Turkish friends that they do not request a visa to come to Brazil, and they were saying the same. Like, there are a few countries where we can go without requesting a visa, but Brazil is
Yeah,
not one of the countries. And they were like
no,
very hyped to come
Brazil.
here, but it's very far. So they were like, I do not request a visa to go to Brazil, but it's
Actually,
very far. Why will I go there?
yeah. Before COVID, before pandemic, we didn't need visa for Turkey. Also for 30 days, it was visa free. But after pandemic, it like things changed.
Yeah,
Now we
okay.
need visa even for Turkey.
yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy because you're quite close to Turkey, so it should be.
Not like very close, but we are culturally, historically very
Yes,
connected with
for
Turkey.
sure.
So that's one of the reasons
Hmm.
we didn't need visa for them because we still have very strong connections with Turkey. Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, Erdogan still tries to connect and to unite all Turkic states, all Turkic countries together.
Hmm.
sure.
That includes Central Asia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey, of course, and some Tatarstan in Russia and other Turkic nations in Russia.
Yeah.
Because
And you also told me, João tapped a little bit on it, but the language, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if it's because you're very close to the Caspian Sea, but the language shares a lot with Turkey, and well, with Turk
Actually,
and Turkish quite similar,
yes,
as you told me, right? Yeah,
because Turkmen language is one of the languages of Turkic, because Turkic languages they divide into they are also divided into groups,
Right.
and Turkish, uh, Azerbaijan and Turkmen they are in one Oghuz Turkic group.
Hmm.
So we are August Turks,
But can you
and we are
understand Turkish,
incomparable.
right? Or no?
Yes, I speak
You
and I
do.
understand
All right.
Turkish.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very easy for us because, like, do you know how we learn Turkish? We just watched Turkish series. That's
The
how we
soap
learn Turkish.
operas. That's very good. Very good Turkish soap operas
Uh,
right
Yeah.
there.
it's the
But
best, it's the
for
best.
Turkish people, it's kind of difficult to understand us Turkmens because we don't have sounds like s or z.
Yeah.
Like we don't say, for example, I don't know. Okay, let's say the easiest phrase. In Turkish, I love you is seni seviyorum.
All right.
They have seni
Sesemini
seviyorum.
diyorum.
Yeah, yeah. And in Turkmen, we don't have se or ze, so it's like seni söylerim. It's se
All
and
right.
the.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's kind of difficult for them to understand us because our pronunciation is
Totally
different.
different. All right.
Yeah.
That's
And
very cool. Very interesting, actually.
yeah, and also culturally because when we met, I did
Mhm.
notice that you looked very like slightly Turkish. Like the hair, the facial like features, you do look kind of Turkish. And I
Yeah.
wonder, does the food and
Mhm.
all those things where you are from also resemble that Turkish culture, or is it just full on
I guess so.
Turkmenistan?
I think Turkish culture mostly resembles the Arab and Middle Eastern
Yeah,
Mm.
cuisine and like and culture because actually the Turkish tribes the nowadays the Turkish people their ancestors they moved to that territory to the current territory from the territories of Central Asia. Before it was divided into countries. Before it was like other I don't know, sultanates, or how to say that in English? I don't know. Other empires, okay.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right. No,
Mhm.
we
And
understood.
they moved to that territory. So after that, they also got from different cultures, from Arab culture, from Middle Eastern cultures, from Caucasian cultures. So now it's like it's a mix. But the original roots, maybe, like they come from Central Asia.
yeah,
So their culture is more rich, is more like diverse than ours
for
because
sure.
like we stayed on that place, on that territory still.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and they're also more exposed to influence from other things, whereas
Is
Turkmenistan stayed in its own, let's call it bubble.
uh-huh.
So
Yeah, exactly.
for
And
sure.
but I can say that nowadays our if we take food, our food is also diverse because of the impact of the Soviet Union, because of the impact of Russians, Ukrainians, Belarusians that lived on our territory. And like we got something from them, they got something from us. And
Mm,
during the Soviet Union, it was very easy to move around the countries, around those republics. So the mixture of our cultures was very quick and fast.
Correct.
yeah, yeah, and it still fascinates me that all those Central Asian countries were Soviet Union, and
Yeah.
then once they separated, they became so distinct from each other. Even in ethnicities, right? You go to Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, they look like Chinese, Mongolian, and then you go to
Yes.
Turkmenistan, it's like Arabic and Turkish
Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
nothing to
and
do with
Russian.
Russians, right? Nothing to do with the
Yeah,
Russians, like many of them.
Yeah, but
It's
because
crazy.
during the Soviet Union, our like people, our ethnicities like Turkmens, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, they were still trying to keep our culture.
Sure.
They were still trying to keep the nation like it
There
was.
was a kind of
Like
resistance, right? Like trying to,
yeah, and also maybe old traditions, old
yeah.
customs, mixed marriages were not really allowed because of the previous generation. They didn't allow that, so there were not a lot of mixed marriages. So that's how we stayed the
Mm.
same.
All right.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And
And go on, go
and
on, bro.
now, yeah, no, go on, go on, go on, go on.
No, I just want to ask, what's your favorite dish right there? Like we were talking about food. What's your favorite dish from
In
Turkmenistan?
Turkmenistan, from
Yeah, yeah,
Turkmen.
yeah.
Okay, my favorite dish is ash or palo. We call it. That's my favorite of all times. Like I can sell my soul for that dish. Like this is really my favorite one. This is so it's rice with meat and with carrot. Like our Turkmen version of palo or
All right.
ash, it's called. It's very simple. It's very basic. So we just like it's only onion, carrot, rice, and meat. That's all. Because this is a very Central Asian food. This is a very Central Asian dish. It's also very popular in Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. So there is always a battle between our countries. Like, who-
What's the
where does
best
it
palu?
originally? Where does it originally come from? There is always a battle. Uzbeks say that, oh, ash is ours, like it comes from Uzbekistan. Tajiks say that, well, no, ash is from our country. It originally comes from Tajikistan. Turkmens say the same. So, but my favorite is definitely ash.
Ash, ash.
Like
But
you
is
can,
it in a bowl or in
It looks
normal
uh,
really good
dish?
from the pictures. It's like a rice, right? A rice
yes,
All
rice
right.
with
mixer,
meat.
like
We
a
cook it in a big pot.
In a big pot. All
So,
right.
mhm. And then
and
we put it on a big plate and we all eat from the same plate because that's the part of our culture to eat from the same
To
plate or
share.
to eat.
yeah,
Yes,
Amazing.
very like
exactly.
Middle Eastern and Turkish. Yeah, that like
Yes,
everybody just serves from one plate,
yes.
and yeah,
And
I really
what
like
is the
it.
most common meat there? Is it a cow meat or you
Sheep,
do sheep
sheep. We
lamb,
have
né?
sheep, lamb. I mean, we have cows. We have camels. What else
Okay. What is the
is
most
there?
common? Is it lamb?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love them. Oh my God, I love
Lamb
it.
is very expensive here in Brazil. Like
In
not
Europe
at
as
all.
well.
Like not very common
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
No, we have it because it's very we have everything in our country. We have every meat.
Yeah.
That's not a big problem for us, Especially if you go to the countryside.
Mhm.
Oh, fresh,
So tasty, right?
fresh meat food. Oh,
I can imagine. And I guess horse meat like Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan is not meat.
Because
actually, in our country, horse meat is prohibited. It's not allowed to eat horse meat according
yes,
to the law.
protect the
But
horses.
uh, but closer to the border of Kazakhstan, a lot of Kazakh actually during the Soviet Union and after a lot of Kazakhs living in our country. So closer to the Kazakhstan border, the in those Kazakh villages, they ate horse meat during the Soviet Union. So that is still possible in our country, but according to the law, it's not allowed.
All right.
I guess you could drive. I don't know because of the visa. I was gonna say you
Yeah,
could
you
drive to
cannot drive.
Kazakhstan and
Yeah.
then come back with horse meat, but
Only
no.
if you're a
Actually, we
Kazakh.
can.
If you're a Kazakh
Yeah,
there, we can.
we get visa and they usually drive because my mom did like this. Like she was there, I think once or twice. Oh, I think once. She get the she got the visa from Kazakh embassy in our country, and they just drove to Kazakhstan.
Mm.
Amazing.
Did you try the horse meat? Did you like it?
I think yes. I think I have tried once, but it was a long time ago, so I don't remember. But I'm okay with meat. So I think if
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat again, I'm gonna like it
All
because I
right.
love meat.
Oh, that's good. And also something you told me, which
Mhm,
I didn't really know about. You guys are Muslim in
mhm.
Turkmenistan mostly, and I
Yes.
had no idea of this. So
Uh,
it's like, yeah,
so Turkmen people are Muslims, Sunni
yeah.
Muslims, and it was like this before. It's like it's historically we are Sunni Muslims, but with the coming of Soviet Union and their government and their policy, because in Soviet Union there was like religions were not allowed to practice. So all the even on the territory of Russia, like churches and mosques, they were demolished because
Hmm.
during the Soviet Union, uh, practicing religion was not allowed.
Yeah.
So I guess with the coming of Soviet Union and its influence, we like Turkmen people changed their not even mindset, but everything in clothes, in living life, in lifestyle, because even elders they kept those traditions, the religious traditions, but the younger generation they were like not the same. So
Yeah.
nowadays, yes, we still practice. We're still Muslims. A lot of Turkmens, they are like really practicing the religion. But in the city, in the town, like in the cities, you will see that um,
In
we
Ashgabat, it's
don't.
not so common. Yeah.
Yes, in Ashgabat, in our town, because our town is like very multinational, very multicultural town,
Hmm.
because we have Armenians, we have Azerbaijans, we have Kazakhs, we have Uzbeks, we have Russians, Ukrainians, even there were Germans still from that time.
Ah, that's nice.
So even though we do practice our religion, but it's not shown in our lives,
Yeah,
not the
life's as
lifestyle,
much.
in our clothings,
Yeah,
in
it's
our, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not as a
you,
big thing like in the Middle
sure.
East, of
Yes,
course.
And you guys are
So,
not known for the religion. Like
yes,
we do not
exactly.
know that you guys are Muslim because you don't show this. Like,
Yes,
it's not the first thing
exactly.
that come to your mind when you think about Turkmenistan. But yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. But we
but you,
still like do the traditions, those religion customs. We still consider ourselves like
sure.
Muslims.
yeah, I was gonna ask. So there's mosques in your city where people can go
Yes,
to.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
And very beautiful mosque, bro. I mean,
In
yeah.
Ashgabat, it's very beautiful. Yeah.
yeah, I know. I mean, made of gold and kind of stuff. Like, wow,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
Yeah.
luxurious, bro.
Oh, I do think mosques are like the most beautiful religious like buildings,
In
like
my opinion, yeah,
Islamic churches. I
sure.
would say, yeah. Even
Yeah.
if you look at pictures from Baghdad back in the day before the
Mhm.
U.S. well put it to pieces, the mosques were so damn beautiful. Like
Mm.
these blue color that could only be replicated back in the day, and it's crazy. It's
They have
insane.
the same in Uzbekistan. I don't know if you have searched before or no, but Bukhara, Samarkand, they have so like such beautiful mosques. So that's also one of my goals is to visit
Hmm.
Central Asia because Central Asia is very beautiful, even historically, especially
Yeah.
historically. They still have the building, the historical buildings, and even on our territory, we still have some buildings. But yeah, it's kind of expensive maybe for us to travel. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that
Yeah,
Amazing.
for
anytime
sure.
in the future.
And I also read about there was a really big earthquake not too long ago in Turkmenistan,
It
right?
was on October 6th, 1948 in Ashgabat, just after the World War II, because World War
Uh,
II ended in 1945. So
yeah,
1948, very difficult times for our people, for any Soviet Union people, because there was no enough food. There was like after war, it's very difficult. Life is
yeah,
difficult.
I
Sure.
like the timing
So
couldn't be worse.
yeah, and Ashgabat was yeah, it was and it's still the biggest city. So on October 6th, there happened like I think the it was seven point something according to the that scale.
This K, all right. Oh, that's huge for the
Mhm.
times. I
Uh,
mean, yeah,
So the
back in the
whole
40s.
city, the whole city was destroyed. Like there was nothing left at
yeah,
all. So the whole Soviet Union was helping all 15, like all 14 other republics, they were helping to rebuild Ashgabat from the zero. So
yeah. Especially because back then the buildings were not
Not a
made for
structure for this,
earthquakes,
man. Yeah,
and
they're not made
exactly.
for this.
yeah, in Portugal we had the same thing. 1755. way, 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 way long ago. But at that time, Portugal was a big nation, quite a big
Hmm.
nation,
Yes.
and all of Lisbon got basically destroyed, and it had to be
Hmm.
rebuilt due to that earthquake and tsunami. I think also there was a tsunami. So it's interesting when I hear about other countries that had like these massive earthquakes and the whole city had to be rebuilt as well, anew,
Yes.
basically,
The whole
completely new.
city was rebuilt, but the number of victims is still not published because during the Soviet Union they were very strict with that with announcing something bad about the
Ah,
USSR. So the number is still not very.
it's like
Some people
China.
say that it's
It's
Yeah.
like China.
300.
You
Yeah,
never know
some
the
people
correct
say
numbers.
that
You never know.
300,000 victims, but some say that it's only like 70,000 people, but it's still. But I don't think that's it's 70,000. I think it's the
More?
more.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Can only imagine. Now, going into the tourism,
Hmm.
because we haven't tapped like really, really deep in this.
Yeah.
So to visit your country, you
Hmm.
need to have a guide. You cannot just go in with a backpack and just backpack the whole country on your
Yes.
own with a
Yeah.
camera
You cannot
to
do
do
that.
anything.
Yeah, you
How,
cannot do that.
like, do you think that's like a way to make tourism a little bit harder or to be more selective?
I
Uh,
guess that's more selective, and that is about protecting and keeping the country safe.
hmm,
I don't know. I guess so. But you can, if you apply through the tourist agency, that is how it's going to be for you. It's more difficult for tourists to travel with tourist agencies because they're going to give you the guide, they're going to give you some limits, some limitations,
Mm.
some, I don't know, rules
yeah,
that it's not very, because I think it's not allowed even using drones in our country. So you cannot record on a drone.
yeah,
So they don't even allow to come with drone. So like they will not let you in with drone.
yeah.
Um,
Because all those videos on YouTube, which we'll talk about, but they always went to the same places.
Sure.
So in a
Yeah.
way, they of like the main thing that they always say it's always empty, but they also only go to those places. So I'm wondering, are those
I
places
guess
made just
because
for the
they
tourists?
went with the tourist agency and with that guide that was given to them, and
Yeah,
the track is one, the marshroute is one.
yeah,
But if you get an invitation letter, I guess it's more free
Okay.
okay.
because, for example, if I invite you, if I'm in the one, I'm the one responsible for you.
I can
So
put my backpack, my drone, and just go off to the capital,
I
shoot a
don't think so,
documentary.
bro. I don't
the
think so.
drone will not be in. The
Yeah.
drone, no, no, no.
No drones, bro.
I'll
No
swallow the
drones.
drone and go to the bathroom somehow.
So I'm going to be responsible for you. So if you do something wrong, that will be
We'll
on
both
me.
go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing,
Oh,
So
that's so
Medina.
funny.
And Medina,
That's so
talking
funny.
a little bit about yourself. You're studying right there in Malaysia right now. You're not living in the
mhm.
country. So how did you decide to do not study at your country during the university? What you're doing right there?
Uh,
Is it your second degree? Talk a little bit
no,
about
it's my
yourself.
first degree. I'm
Or
21, so it's my first
oh,
degree.
you're very
Um,
young.
I'm getting my bachelor's degree here in business administration,
Oh,
and
cool.
I'm finding it okay. But I think the studying for me abroad is not much about studies, but it's more about opportunities because, yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get the degree. But
Yeah.
I will, I want to also look forward for more opportunities to travel, to work, to, I don't know, develop as a person that is more easier abroad than in our country. Because in our country, we still like don't have many relationships with other countries. Like I don't know, any other countries that can lead you to something. Like,
Yeah,
because
Sure.
if I'm gonna study in Turkmenistan, I'm gonna stay there.
Going to work there, right?
for sure. And
Yeah.
you probably only work for the government, or most job positions would be for the
Mostly,
government
mostly we work
in
for the
Turkey.
government,
Yeah.
but yeah, there are also some other companies that are from abroad, like from Malaysia, mostly from Malaysia, from Turkey. There were a lot of Turkish companies before, from Russia, but they're still like limited.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
And how do you
So
And
feel
most
there?
of,
Is it your first time abroad? How do you feel like having
yes,
this totally freedom right now and having your, trying to look at your future and kind of stuff? How do you
the
feel right now?
Southeast Asian freedom.
Yeah.
How how do you like it?
oh, okay, let me tell you. Actually, first time when I came here, it was November 2022. I was excited because it was my first country, like my first country abroad. I was so excited. Oh, Malaysia, such a beautiful country.
Mhm.
But yeah, first 2 months are very
Yeah,
fun
always very
because
hyped.
everything is new.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything is new to me. But then when I get to know the ordinary life, the everyday life here, the food, the culture, the people, I was shocked by everything here
yeah.
because
Yeah.
the food is spicy. The food is so much different from our food. Oh my God. And we cannot find anything similar to our food just to, I don't know, just to recover from Malaysian food because Malaysian food is very spicy. Like it's really spicy. And it's either it's either spicy or too sweet.
All right.
There's
Yeah,
nothing in between.
In between, yeah. Which
the
is
sweet sour
normal.
sauce.
There's nothing normal right there.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's either too spicy or
Yeah.
either too sweet. So first time it that was the problem for me, I guess for
Mm.
any Central Asian here, because our food is so much different. The only food that I don't know reminds me and reminds us about home is Arab food, Middle Eastern food. Shawarma or
Which you have, right? Because
yes,
there's a lot of Muslims. Or, well, Malaysia it's
thanks God
mostly
we
a
have
Muslim.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, and there are a lot of Arab immigrants like from
Yeah.
Syria, mostly from Syria and from Palestine. So they open, thanks God they open the cafes. We are so glad about it.
And how
To
how do
be
you
honest,
eat right now? Like, are you used to
yeah.
Malaysian food or you're just
Yeah,
going
I'm
straight
used
to
to
the
the
Arabic
Malaysian
food?
food. Yeah, I'm used to some of the Malaysian food. Only if I say that, not spicy, please. Not spicy, please. I need to mention that because still
It
cannot
else.
manage that level of spiciness.
Yeah. I will give you that with the Middle Eastern food because when I was living in Thailand in Samui, every day I would eat Thai food. But again, I really like Thai food. But
Mm.
whenever I wanted to eat really good, I would go to my Moroccan Middle Eastern restaurant and just
The
fat myself with all their food, the hummus, the falafel, or the
Falafel,
pork lambs,
hummus,
chops, oh whatever. It was
exactly.
the rice. Oh, it was so good.
It's
Um,
always like it's never going to disappoint you. That's
for
the food
sure.
that is never going to disappoint you.
Like there's the flavor, there's the quantity, there's everything. That's what I love about Middle Eastern food. It just it cannot be replaced. But again, I think Malaysian food and Thai food they are still a bit similar, and I do agree that
Yeah.
it can be very spicy or very sweet and sour. But still, I was the opposite. I would have to ask them to put spicy on my food because they would look at me, a foreigner, a white guy, saying, "No, this guy cannot take the Thai chilies." So they would never put Thai chilies. So I have to ask, no, please put like 9 Thai chilies in my food. I love those spicy. So
Well,
I
yeah, I was
cannot
the
I
have
just
opposite
it.
of
cannot
that.
I mean, I
manage
do
it.
like spicy,
I
but
don't
I
feel
cannot have
this taste. I don't feel the taste when it's spicy. I only feel the
it. Exactly.
spiciness. I don't feel the taste of the food.
So
You're
that's the
right,
thing, right?
Medina. You're right, Medina. I
I
agree
would
with
say
you.
that yes, with Indian and Chinese food, but because the spice comes mostly from Thai chilies in Thailand, Don't know about Malaysia, but I think it's kind of like the same. It has
It's
this very flavorful, like natural spice flavor instead of just being like dust or whatever it is that they use in the other countries. So it has its own flavor, but I get it. But I get it. I will say one thing. They have something called in Thailand a papaya
Mhm,
salad or something like that, and it's
mhm.
incredibly spicy. I didn't know. So
Papaya.
the
Is it fruit
it
with
it's
chili
it's
and
like a
kind of stuff?
salad and it
And with
has
pepper?
like fruits and legumes. I don't remember if it was called papaya salad. Hopefully it is.
Is
But
there a papaya there in the salad?
there was.
Papaya, papaya,
Oh my
the
god.
one that
Why
orange
do you
that
call
looks
papaya
like.
Well,
if there is no papaya in there?
no, there is, but well, the name in Thai maybe is different, but on the menu was always papaya
All right,
salad,
all right.
and that's what I ordered. Point is, it was so damn spicy, but like the dish itself was already spicy, and I didn't know. So the first time I tried it, I asked them to put more spice, and that was a mistake. It was one of the only foods that I almost couldn't finish, just because of how spicy it was, and I love spicy food. So that was never again. So that's the only Thai food that I'll say it's hard for me to eat. Everything
Mhm.
else, the pat krapaus, the pad thais, oh, I do miss it every single day. So yeah,
Wow.
Southeast
Nice.
Asia. But going back into your life to Malaysia, like because something that I felt a lot with Thailand, even though it's a monarchy, but there's so much freedom in the country. Like you can do
Yes,
anything you
yes,
want. You have all sorts of entertainment, all sorts of
exactly.
events, anything. So much multicultural as well. Like how is like the difference from coming from Turkmenistan, like its
Yeah,
own bubble, to then going to
Mhm.
this like such freedom country
like
of Malaysia.
lots
That
of informations coming all at once. How does it feel?
okay, that was just a little freeze. That's why. Okay, actually, you get used to good things very quickly. So of course, I feel the difference between my country and Malaysia's freedom, and and that's what I love about countries abroad is like we have the freedom here. We
Yeah.
have we can actually do anything we want, and no one's gonna, I don't know, no one's gonna
Tell otherwise.
tell you.
Yeah.
Judge you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
as
no
well.
one's gonna judge you. No one's gonna tell you something about it. So that's what I love about Malaysia, especially the tourist places. For example, the islands where the a lot of Europeans come there, a lot of other foreigners come there. So there is a total freedom. And when you go there, it's like, oh, this is such a different world, such like whole different world for us because where I live in Malaysia, it's still a like very quiet town, very quiet region. Like we don't have a lot of entertainment places in our town because mostly students and mostly just locals.
Yeah.
And locals are
Mm.
Muslims here, mostly. There are still some Chinese, but not that many. But when we go to other states or when we go to other tourist places like Langkawi, I don't have you heard about Langkawi Island or Penang Island?
No, I have
Insanely
not.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Insanely beautiful. Yeah.
Those touristic places, those, and when we go there, I'm like, oh, we're in a different Malaysia now. Like this is
Yeah.
a different side of Malaysia, which I really love because
Yeah. Especially like coming from your country, not seeing basically any tourists ever, and then going to a place and you see
yes,
these so many tourists. Like this monument is seen by these many people, not just 5 people.
Yeah.
yes,
And for
the
you
what
must be a
the
shock, Medina,
diversity
because
of
you're not even from the capital. Like you're from the countryside of Turkmenistan. That like
no,
it
I
might
wouldn't
be a shock,
consider
right?
my town a
It's still
No,
countryside.
not
developed,
a
man. It's still
countryside. Like
developed,
I'm
but it
sorry.
doesn't have
Like
the
I mean,
marbles.
yeah,
It doesn't have
sure. I
the white
Yeah,
mean,
it just
marbles.
doesn't have the
yeah,
marbles. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even nowadays, like the new buildings are being built and they are white marbles. So
Okay.
it's slowly getting into that phase where it's gonna be all white. So no, it's just I just maybe saw for the first time a lot of Europeans and South Asians, maybe. That's the difference.
Hmm.
Because, and the freedom of doing anything. Like they're just walking, they're like drinking, dancing, singing, anything you want. Like at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., the streets are full. That's kind of shocking for me because
Yeah.
when you go out in Turkmenistan at
It should be at
11 p.m.,
home.
there is going to be no one on the streets. Everyone is sleeping at their houses because tomorrow is work.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And I was even
I was
gonna
shocked.
gonna ask because I think it was on our Kyrgyzstan episode, like our guest told us that the parties in most Central Asian countries they're a bit more elegant. Like you have to go well dressed
Of
and
course.
invited. But then you go to Southeast Asia, it's like all these drunk drunk Europeans and even the Eastern
Even the
Asians
locals.
like
Yeah.
just getting shit faced on the beach.
I guess we
Hawaiian
don't
shirts ripped
even,
off, flip
yeah,
flops.
I guess we don't even have those kind of clubs in our country. Maybe in Ashgabat there are, but for
Hmm.
example, about my town, there are in there are not any clubs like this where you can just like go and just if we go to a party, it's rather a birthday party, wedding party. So like it's kind of you need to get invited to that party.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's also one of the things I wanted to differentiate between our cultures, like Malaysian or like South Asian country and Central Asians. We
Mhm.
always get dressed for any occasion. Like even we just go out, just I don't know, with no event upcoming. Like we just go out with
To the
girls to the
supermarket.
yeah to the supermarket. We get dressed, we get
Okay.
our hair done, makeup done, everything is done even just to the classes. We get dressed, we everything is on point. And then we saw that was this one of the shocks for me when I came here with my countrymate to the first class. We saw the students in just like something like pajamas, like something like just a sweatshirt, just the sweatpants with the basic sneakers, like the on a chill. Like it was
Yeah.
100% chill person and the outfit was chill and we were like in not the we were like in shirts, everything is nice in dress, and we came and like why did we dress like this? We were the only one looking like official,
people people thought you
formal.
were the professors. You were the one giving the
Might
class.
yes,
Oh,
might be because we were
no,
the
I
only one wearing formal attire, like
yeah, yeah,
shoes,
yeah.
hair, everything is on about the class, about the formal. And then they were like chill. That's what I learned here in Malaysia, like not to dress everywhere like it's a wedding. I don't
Like
know.
the wedding.
No,
Amazing,
I
amazing.
I had like the same thing in Thailand. Like I would go to the club in flip flops, beach shorts, and shirtless. I would enter the club with with a beer bottle on my hand, just screaming. I say, "Hey, where's the party at?"
No,
And
you wouldn't see
oh,
any Central Asian wearing like this to club or to the party. If it's a guy, you will see them wearing loafers, those linen shirts, those linen shorts, like very
yeah,
like
very
we
well
care
dressed.
about our outfit so much. I don't know even if it's important or not important. We need to dress well. I don't know. We were taught like this from the childhood.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I fully see it, and even like not even just the tourists in Thailand, like the Southeast Asian people as well. I spent Songkran in Thailand, which is their
Mhm.
it's a water festival, but it represents their a new year in Thailand. And in Samui, there's a lot of tourists, but also there's a lot of locals. It's a really good place to live
Mhm.
in, and the parties on the streets, man, they go crazy. And it's like the attire as well. It's like ripped shirts, flip flops, like even barefoot sometimes. It's the most insane thing ever. But I love it. To be honest, I love it. I'm one of those
Yes,
guys that I just let me dress the way I want to and just let
because
me
you
go
will
in
not
and have
feel
fun.
that freedom anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's only here. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess
To be
so.
honest, South America does have a little bit of that, I would say,
I
but
guess
it's
Rio
not
de
as
Janeiro,
much.
bro. Rio
Yeah.
de Janeiro, you do get this. Like if you go to São
Oh, for
Paulo,
sure, for sure, for sure.
it's going to be different. Like
But
definitely.
I will say it feels even more in Southeast Asia because I think
Ah,
they
it
even
does.
care
It
less.
does. It
They
does.
even
It
care
does.
less.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's because also people don't care about like material things like clothes.
sure.
In
Yeah,
Brazil,
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
care a lot about clothes. I'm sorry, you see a lot of like the big brands in
Yeah,
people wearing
sure.
them.
Sure,
But
sure.
in Southeast Asia, because also people just buy things from the flea markets and on the streets,
Mm,
it's not as common for people to buy something from a store like an H&M. Even me in Southeast
yeah.
Asia, I would go in and buy everything from the flea markets and good quality stuff. So it's like
Mm.
people don't care as much. I think it's also because of that.
Yeah,
People
that's
just
the thing. People don't
yeah
care.
yeah
But in Central Asia, ooh, they care.
you get judgments.
They would order clothes from Turkey, from Dubai. They would order just the clothes that they're gonna wear every day. I don't know. I guess this just the part of the culture. I don't know. I
Sure.
guess so.
Probably yes. Probably yes. Like this thing that Guilherme said, like about not caring about material things, that makes lots of
Mm.
sense of this feeling of not I don't have to not allow this
Mm.
guy enter my club just because he doesn't have a shirt, like and kind of stuff. Like because they do not
Yeah,
Mm.
care about this. And Medina,
yeah.
I'd like to do a question I do every single episode, like just because of curiosity, like how people grow up in the countries. How was your childhood there in your city? What did you do in the streets? Like, what would you do with your friends? Like the plays or the things that you like to do to entertain yourselves right there while
Yeah.
growing
My
up.
childhood was the best. Oh, I love my childhood.
Okay,
We have
that's good.
those kindergartens usually from the age of 3 or 4. Parents would let the kids to go to the kindergartens. They were free at that moment. Now, like we have to pay maybe, okay, let's say $4 or $5 for the kindergarten, but it was free before. Actually, the education is free. I mean, the secondary education,
Okay.
the high school education is free. Kindergartens were also free, but it's only now. Now we should pay for them. So my childhood was like any other kids. We would just like go on the streets, play on the streets, and we were not. Our parents were not afraid for us because it was safe. We would go to other I don't know, neighborhood and play with other kids. Like this neighborhood is playing with that neighborhood. And also I spent most of my childhood I spent a lot of time of my childhood with my grandparents. I loved my grandfather. Like he would take me from kindergarten, then like we would go for a walk. He would buy me sweets. That's like
Cool.
what I needed for as a child. I love to spend time with him because he during the his youth, he was traveling around the USSR. So he was in Russia, he was in Azerbaijan, he was in other like Kazakhstan and other
Patience.
Soviet Union countries, republics, and he knew a lot of languages. He knew even Persian because,
Wow.
yeah. So it was for me, it was interesting to spend time with him because he would teach me how to play cards. He would teach me how to play this or that. I would ask him to count, oh, count me in Persian from 1 to 10. I wouldn't
Hmm.
memorize that. I wouldn't remember that, but I don't know. I just loved.
Yeah. How smart he was there. I mean, like the
Yeah.
knowledge that he could pass for you.
And he
Yes,
probably also has a lot of stories from traveling to
Yeah.
all those countries. So it's cool
yes,
from being in Turkmenistan and not being able to travel as easy as an European. It's really cool to
yeah.
hear these stories
Yeah.
as well.
I was born in 2003, so at that time our country was already independent, so we didn't have like many opportunities to travel, even for other people, because it was kind of expensive, it was kind of difficult, but still, I don't know how people find the ways to go out of our country just to travel. It's, thankfully, nowadays we have direct flights to a lot of countries, to France, to Germany, to Italy, Russia, of course. I think Kazakhstan also, Malaysia, like a lot of countries. But what's the problem is that the visa is problem and the tickets are kind of expensive. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Oh,
But
that's nice
still,
to hear.
it's much easier now to travel. It's still
Yeah.
much easier,
Yeah.
like with the times.
And that also makes me, well, we'll talk about a little bit on the YouTube videos, but we can also talk about now. People,
Yeah.
the first thing that also people compare Turkmenistan with is North Korea, but at the same time, it's like North Korean people, they cannot go out of the country.
Yeah.
They cannot
Mm,
even
No, it's
do
totally different, man.
anything
It's
from
totally
the
different.
country. And Turkmenistan people, of course, as we are talking about now, you can go abroad, you can do whatever you want.
there
Still,
is so much fake information about my country.
yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
hate about social media
Yeah.
is that the fake information is spread very quickly, spread very fast. And especially when I see with those travel bloggers, oh, there is not enough food in Turkmenistan. Oh, there is not enough bread. The bread is very rare for Turkmen people. They cannot get how much they bread they want. They cannot get this. They cannot get sugar. They cannot. What are you talking about? Where did you get that information from? So, especially all these people cannot, they don't have, they cannot go out of the country. All these people, this have these problems, those problems, that problems. I'm like, no, this is totally fake. This is false information. Why are you spreading this information? And I'm always mad
Sure,
on
yeah.
them about this because
yeah.
no, we have the ordinary life. We live our ordinary life just like others. There is nothing that special about us. We have food, we have place to live, we have everything.
Yeah, it's just
It's
crazy
not
how
North
fake
Korea.
news
It's
spreads so
not North
fast like
Korea at
this.
all.
And
Sure.
I think just because North Korea is so known to be a lot of those things, and whenever people see these countries who kind of look like North Korea, and their first
Mm,
thoughts are going to be like, it's the same thing. People eat dirt on the streets. People don't. There's no developed cities besides the capital, and
no,
then all the wealth is just to the president. But for
that
sure,
is also one of the shocked differences between South Asia and Turkmenistan is the cleanliness. Our streets, even besides the capital, other towns, small towns even, everything is so clean, everything is so tidy, like no trash outside, no, I don't know, no plastic. I have never seen in my life such an amount of plastic used
Yeah.
here
yeah,
in an ordinary life, like in Malaysia. Oh my God, they use plastic everywhere. For
for
everything, they use plastic.
everything,
For
yeah,
everything.
every single thing.
Everything
It's
is made of
insane.
plastic here. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But when I lived in Turkmenistan, I was like, oh, plastic free. Oh, we use so much plastic. But then when I knew about Malaysia, I'm like, no, actually, we don't use that much plastic.
And it's impossible to escape as well. Like, you have to use plastic there. They just
Yeah.
give you all the plastic needed.
No other options.
Medina, I had the same culture shock with Thailand, because there was something that I never understood about Samui, and even Bangkok is the same thing. There's no trash cans. There are no trash cans. Literally,
Yes,
you go all on the streets, all in Samui, on the beach.
exactly.
No, no, no. There's no freaking trash cans. I don't know where you put. Like, I would have to
Exactly.
put it on my backpack, the trash, because
Mm,
there would be no place to put it on. And whenever I see a trash can, there would be like a miracle. It's like a an oasis.
yes.
Oh my god.
It's like
Finally, I
achievement.
Dirty.
never.
Find a trash can.
I
Like, yeah,
never
it's a fucking
survived.
achievement.
Yeah,
No trash cans. Everywhere is plastic.
yeah, very dirty. I
You-
will say that the streets in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of a couple bad things that I would talk about Southeast Asia. I think the streets are ugly. Like the
yes,
houses are obviously quite ugly,
they
and
are
there's
dirty.
yeah, and but the dirtiness is what surprised me the most, for sure. The
Hmm.
dirtiness and the
Exactly. That's
air,
what
the
shocks
quality of
Central
air.
Asian people, especially,
Yeah, for
or
sure, for
any
sure.
other European, because I have never seen this level of dirtiness and this level of usage of plastic in my life. I don't know. We don't have that. Everything is like, okay,
Yeah,
everything is clean and
for sure, for sure.
tidy.
Now, Medine, I want to do a segment with you from those YouTube videos. I have like
Okay.
written here a few things, and I want you to say if they're true or not, so we kill off the stereotypes.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
people,
let's do
yeah,
it.
people are just gonna watch those videos and they're gonna think, okay, Turkmenistan is North Korea. So we're gonna
Okay.
say
Can
no.
you also share the link to our chat?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. I will.
Maybe in WhatsApp. Okay. The YouTube video that you sent.
Oh yes, that one was
Uh,
from Yes Fury. Yeah, that one was from Yes Fury. I think they're the most known ones
Mm-hmm.
that do videos like to show
show
countries
the
and cultures
countries.
around the world. But the one that I saw first was that guy on Instagram that did like the reel showing off
Mm-hmm.
Turkmenistan, saying it's like the most liminal place on earth. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so a few things you already said, but one of
Okay.
the things that kind of surprised me was the names of the month. So it's not like January, February, all translated into Turk. It's like
No,
the
that is
names
also one of the
of
false
the president.
information spread on the media about our country. Okay, let me tell you something about it.
Yeah.
When we got our independence in 1991, so our first president, Sapar Murat Türkmenbaşı, his name was,
Hmm.
he changed the usual month names into his own made up. Like he named, for example, February was named by duck. Yes, I think by duck. It means flag month, because uh, the flag day in is on February 19th. So this
Right.
month is flag. Okay, December was named Bir taraflı, because Bir taraflı means neutrality, because we gained our neutrality in December. It was December 12th, 1995. So another month, October, was named Kararsızlık, which means um, independence, because we got our independence in October. So it was another month was named after a historical hero, historical personality, um, Alparslan, for example, and another one. So, but after the death of our first president in
Yeah.
2008, our new president, like, we went back to our normal months.
Normal calling the months. All right.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
even though it was changed
For many
before,
years, like
people
that. Yeah.
still use the normal months.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
according to the documents, we needed to change them, but people would still use the normal
Oh,
months.
Okay.
that
Okay. Okay.
must
So
be
from
very difficult
2008,
for kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
parents at home calling February, but then when you go to school, you have to write a flag day, a flag month.
yes,
Just like a
Yeah.
random word.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, exactly. So from
Might be very
2008, everything
confusing.
is like everything went back. So we
Okay.
still
All right.
we use the normal months. That is false information that we still use those strange
Okay.
names. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
Not
Good. Good.
anymore.
See. Okay. Now the next one.
Okay.
Where is everybody? Ghost City. Where are all the Turks on those videos?
Oh, maybe I don't
In a
know what
bunker?
time did you come there.
Working.
Everyone, everyone is working. Everyone is busy at the studies, at the work. Everyone is there.
I
We
think I
have
think it I think it's also the traffic because in a lot of those videos, even the traffic, there's no traffic. And I'm sure
because
like
the city is very big and the people are not that many. That's the thing.
okay.
And coming from one part of Ashgabat to another, it takes time. So, of course, you will not see people around those monuments because there's nothing to do there. Like, why would we go to those monuments? We have nothing to do there because it's
I
like only monument.
Sure.
yeah,
There's
I
nothing much.
I see it, but
I
at the
got
same
you.
time, like in Portugal, in my hometown, for example, like the monuments that we have, like the old people just stay there, just passing time, feeding the birds,
Mm,
and
mhm.
walking their pets. So okay,
And yeah,
yeah, that's another one that I wanted to ask. But then again, so people are mostly working and they don't go because it's
they
just
don't
there's
go
nothing
because
to
it's
do.
usually those places are far away from the city center,
Yeah,
usually. So, and there is no reason for them to go there.
but there's parks, right?
Yeah, the parks, there are
Like
a lot
public
of parks
parks.
in Ashgabat and in city center there are you will see a lot of people there. If you go to the markets, yeah, we call it bazaars, you will see a lot of people there.
Hmm.
So people are there.
And Medina, are you into sports? Like, do you like sports? How's sports
I
in your country? Like,
oh, people love sports. People love doing sports in our country, especially football. Yes, like who doesn't love football? Who doesn't
sure,
love
sure.
playing football? Yeah, and many kinds of wrestlings,
Wrestling. Ah,
like
yeah, actually true. Wrestling is very
like
famous right there.
popular in Caucasian countries.
Yeah,
I, yeah, people love sports there. But I'm not into doing sports. I'm into
sure, sure.
watching sports.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm
And
the
do you have a
opposite.
national team right there? I mean, like national championship with teams and kind of stuff.
Yes, we have
Okay.
the national
What
team,
what's
have everything.
what's your team? Like, who do you
But
support?
it's not very popular among the people. I mean,
No,
among
not
the.
at all.
Mm-mm.
Which championship do you
I can
follow
say that
right there?
we have like only one league in Turkmenistan because the population is not that much, so there aren't many teams. Maybe only one representing the one region, one of the five regions. So yeah.
Okay.
Good. Okay, coming back to this. I talked about pets, and I also heard about this. It's illegal to have dogs as pets.
What? This is, oh my goodness. No,
No?
wait,
Okay.
no. Where did they get, where did they get
Yeah,
that
a lot of them
information?
said this thing.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
illegal to
of
have dogs as pets.
Actually, the dogs, especially, let me tell you one breed. We have Alabai dogs. It's a na Turkmen national pride. It's a pride of
you
Turkmen
see.
nations.
Yeah.
Alabai dog. Like
Okay.
I think it's only they only live in Central Asia. It's actually called Central Asian Alabai or Turkmen Alabai. You can search. They are very huge. They are very big. They they are meant to protect the sheep, to protect the
Wow.
how to
Mm-hmm.
say domestic animals
Yes, yes,
Sure,
yes.
sure,
in the
sure. We got
countryside.
it.
For the for the shepherds,
In the
like to
countryside.
Shepherds,
guide
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
the
The
animals and
Yeah,
shepherds.
yeah.
stuff. Oh, that's so
So
nice.
Very
Okay,
cool. Very cool.
that's good to
That's why we
know.
make this podcast, like breaking stereotypes.
Exactly.
Let's go.
so this is
Oh,
not a true.
Okay.
good. This
Oh,
one's funny as well. Video games. They also said it was banned.
Yeah,
And
you cannot
actually,
play
with video
video
games,
game.
let's put it as entertainment. Because how is like cinemas,
we
concerts?
have we have
How are those things?
cinemas. There is a official cinema in Ashgabat in
Yeah.
those trade centers, but for example, in my town we don't have that cinema. Like, okay,
Okay.
we have that cinema halls where you can put your, I don't know, uh, put input your
You.
device and watch from your device just on a
Oh,
big
okay.
screen. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
there
Okay.
is no like official cinema thing. Okay, video games are not allowed. That is not true. We play.
Okay.
We do have. That is not true.
Good. 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 And in concerts, are there any artists in
Concerts,
Turkmenistan where they
no
play
one
like
comes.
concerts?
But I mean,
Dua
if
Lipa
we
doesn't
take
come to
locals,
Turkmenistan.
no. If we take locals, yeah, or
Yeah.
they have those small concerts. Usually they perform on the weddings because Turkmen people love to invite singers, like local singers, on their weddings because Usually our wedding parties are very huge. Like it's for 400, 500, or it can be to 1,000 people, the wedding party for
Wow.
1,000 people. Yeah.
That's a lot of people. That's a
Yes.
lot of people. Wow.
So,
Okay. And lastly, oh no, okay, one more before
mhm,
Leslie. The development outside the capital, your city, for
mhm,
example. So
mhm.
the cities outside of Ashgabat, they are developed and they have
Yes.
things in them. They have services, they have shops, they have
What do you
whatever.
mean? Of course.
Okay, okay, okay.
What exactly do you mean of development?
Because I feel like, again, going into the North Korean example, everything outside the capital North Korea, people, it's like very
Not
poor and
developed, yeah,
very
very poor. Like
not
they're
developed. There's like
poverty.
nothing outside of the
Yeah,
capital because it's all centered on the capital. So
No.
whenever these people would do the videos, they would only be, of course, in Ashgabat. They maybe go to the gates of hell and to other
Mhm.
touristic places in your
The
country.
gates of hell, actually, the place where the gates of hell, there are no people living there. It's only like a place to visit, to see, and
Yeah,
go back.
and you're like,
then
yeah,
go back. Yeah,
But
it's
the
like
other
a
towns,
national park.
they are developed. I can say that they are developed. Yeah, of course, there are some parts of the towns which can look poor. I don't know, but I think in every town there are
sure,
some,
yeah.
in every city there are some places, there are some, I don't know, neighborhoods that are not very
Too developed,
representative.
like, yeah, sure.
There,
Yeah, like favelas in Brazil, also
but
Yeah.
in South America, there's a lot of it. But even like poorer
besides
areas, even in
that,
my hometown.
everything is
Yeah,
okay. We have everything in our
good.
towns. Everything is fine.
Good, good. And out of curiosity, when you would go to Ashgabat when you were younger, would you see a lot of
Mhm.
difference, uh, even just in doing
Mhm.
things
Okay,
between your
yes.
own city?
I would tell that my town is
Yeah.
more free than Ashgabat because Ashgabat
Mm,
is more regulated
yeah.
because like it's a capital. Like you cannot, for example, cross the road any way you want. You need to cross the road on a specific place on a specific. You can here cross the road. If you cross the road any other place, any other territory of the road, like you will get fined.
Fine. Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah. It's
yes,
there's
and
more vigilance, I guess, in Ashgabat because of that.
yes,
So
but in
yeah,
our town, like our town is more free, is more chill. Like you
So
can do.
you can cross the road uh
Yes, you can cross the road
wherever you
and
want.
walk
anywhere
anywhere
you
you
want.
want.
You don't have to be like an NPC. Oh, that's good. And then lastly,
Okay.
should people be afraid to visit Turkmenistan?
No, no, please visit our country because our culture is more different from the other Central Asian countries. It's more, there are a lot of differences. Even inside Turkmenistan, even inside Turkmen nation, there are so many diversity because we have many tribes. Many tribes means many other different traditions that, oh,
Mm,
this tribe
Sure.
differs from this tribe with that. The clothes, the food, it differs according to the region and according to the tribe. So even that's shock also for other Central Asians when I say that we remember I told you about that ash fallow, the
yeah,
dish, my favorite dish. When
Yeah.
I told my Uzbek friend that we have ash with fish, made with fish, not lamb or any other meat, but with fish, because I live on the coast and
yeah,
fish is very approachable in our
Sure, sure.
region. So from the historically, we had this dish like ash with the fish. So for
yeah.
them, it was a shock when they knew that no, you cannot have ash with fish. It's not
Cannot
possible. I'm like,
change
yes,
this
we
dish. It's
have it.
only made this
It's a
way. Yeah.
sin.
Yes, we have it
Oh,
in our region. It's very popular in our region. So
that's nice.
the diversity is huge. So
And that's
you
good to
should
hear as well.
definitely not be afraid of visiting in our country, visiting our country, because you will not regret that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Good to hear. And it's good that you talked about diversity, because again, when people see these videos and they will think just of North Korea when they see
Mm-hmm.
Turkmenistan, and a lot of the things in their minds would be there's no diversity, everybody's the same thing,
Yeah.
everybody's does exactly
Look
the
the
same thing. And
same, do
now,
the same things.
yeah, same haircuts, even
Not
definitely in North Korea.
Yeah.
But
not
now,
true.
yeah, but now listening to you say, talk about this diversity, how much difference there is in your
And
country, and also
especially the
the
fact that
tribes.
we have other nations, not
Yes,
only Turkmens, and their culture is also already they already got like into our culture. It got mixed, so I think it's more even interesting. You
yeah,
can experience Armenian culture, you can experience Azerbaijan culture, you can experience Russian culture in just being in Turkmenistan. You can
there's still a
experience
melting pot
Ukrainian
there.
culture. Like, yeah, because
That's
there
really
are
nice to
lots of.
hear.
Very great to hear. I
Yeah.
guess the only thing there is not diverse right there is the cars. The cars are all white right
Okay,
there.
let me tell you the truth about it. Actually, it's only in Ashgabat. In other towns, you will see colored cars. Mhm.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
because it's
Okay.
only in Ashgabat they allow white, silver,
and
and
gold,
golden.
right?
Oh,
Mhm.
gold cars. That's a flex. I've never seen that.
But in other towns and in other places, like everything besides Ashgabat, you will see colored cars.
Oh, that's
Everything is
crazy.
okay.
And
Only maybe the only maybe black cars you will not see them because black
Okay.
cars are rare for us.
So I can drive like a red Ferrari around your
yourself.
hometown
If you
in
can find Ferrari, if you can
Yeah.
you
uh,
But
can
you
find
cannot go to
Ferrari.
Ashgabat with that Ferrari,
What
right?
happens actually if
Yeah.
I cross the road with a
Yeah.
red Ferrari to Ashgabat? I get chased.
Yeah.
I have the whole country on me,
I
chasing
guess
They
they
me.
will
tow
just
your
not let
car, I
you.
guess.
Oh,
They will just not let you in. That's all.
uh,
It's not gonna be important.
oh, there's
Amazing,
no
Medina.
cinematic thing happening. Okay, that makes sense.
Amazing. Amazing. We are come
Um,
to an end of our podcast.
yes,
That's
Yeah,
amazing conversation we had right now, Medina. Thank you so much, first of all, for accepting the
same.
invitation. Thank you so much for being so kind with us, talking about your country, talking about your family, childhood. Amazing. But before finishing our podcast, Guilherme wants to do the question he does every single episode. So feel free, buddy. Go on.
for sure. For sure. So Medine, we actually talked a little
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this, but
Sure.
let's go a little bit
Okay.
more on it again. What if I asked you, what is the thing that makes you the most proud about being from Turkmenistan? Especially now that you're in Malaysia and you see a lot of people from so many other countries, and you say you're from Turkmenistan, and they'll will most likely act surprised. What is the
Yeah.
thing that then follows that to like kind of represent your country and
hmm
your love for the country that you have?
I guess I will say that historical and cultural background of my
Mm,
people of Turkmenistan, all throughout the history, I'm so glad that I was born in Turkmenistan because I can speak Russian that comes from another group of languages. I can speak Turkmen, I can speak Turkish, and it's basic for us. It's nothing special for us
yeah.
knowing those languages and being open, being able to be open to other cultures and not to be afraid to gain something from other cultures. Yeah,
Hmm.
because our history is very rich, I guess, but it's just not many people know about it.
Hmm.
So yeah.
For sure. Amazing to hear.
Amazing, Medina.
And I do hope that in the future more people start getting more knowledge on Central Asia, because I think from only a few years back the tourism really started popping off, even in Kyrgyzstan and
Yes.
Kazakhstan, which are probably the most known countries there. I think the other ones will start also getting a little bit more eyes, getting
Yes,
more eyes on
that's
them.
what we hope for. Uh-huh.
Awesome. To our listeners, thank you so much for reaching the end of this episode. Be sure to leave us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Podcast WWP. And we'll see you all in the next one.
See you
Goodbye.
guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.
See you, Medina.